So I recently, the last few months, at our gym, they offer kind of what you call like a free membership experience assessment. And so you can meet with a trainer once a month, and like a starting point. And then of course, if you have goals, they would offer training and all of that. But you can get your body fat tested. They do like a fitness testing where they have you run a mile, do like push-ups, squats, pull-ups, like how long you can hold a plank. You do this for like a minute at a time, those different exercises. And then, set goals for the next month when you come back to improve on those, And I didn't do any of the training and stuff, but I've been doing it with a girl that I've known there for a long time, and just started doing it the last few months. But anyways, like my body fat like has went down, my reps have went up. Like it's just gradually the last 3 to 4 months, which we know like one of the best ways that we can promote what we do is to walk the walk, right? Like personally. And long story short, she just actually started coaching this month because she's seen that there's something with myself, that maybe she isn't able to get with her other clients. And I was just briefly telling her, about our program and stuff. And she could just see like, dang, like this is something I could offer my people that would really help them and simplify the process. So just you guys like really be proud of your own journey and open, and the results are definitely better than anything else other people are doing. So that was kind of exciting.
I love that, Amber, just like making connections with people. And when you bring the value, you show up, you make connections, people see what's there and it opens up their eyes. Well done, my friend. And also walking the walk in the middle of it too. So we just hit 8 o'clock. We'll get started here. Say, let's do one more. Anything else got someone going good? And for those that just joined, your health, victory, being consistent, maybe something to celebrate your clients, maybe a breakthrough you've had. I mean, there's been so much consistency. Let's do one more before we pop into today. Go ahead and take yourself off mute if you want to share, if you have the coffee in you yet. April normally jumps in. Doesn't look like she's had coffee today. You look like you need I would make you a cup if I had the ability through Zoom.
Okay, wait a minute. I've been up since 5:15. I've had plenty of coffee. All right. Okay, so thanks a lot. I don't see
you on my screen and you're beyond consistent. You always have something to celebrate. And like, what's cool is like, this is we get paid to do this. Like I just get texts and messages and like, why I think it popped up on you is because you're on my screen, but April, you're always just popping positive things that are moving forward in your life. So I guess that's why I called on you. Plus, it also looked like you did need some coffee at that moment when I looked at the screen.
No, you know what? I'll tell you, what's really inspiring me, though, is just watching you guys in Sundance. I'll tell you, it just, first of all, it motivates me to want to be better myself so that I can be with the leaders. But the one thing that just keeps coming across everything you guys do is the thing that, Brad, you talk about every day, consistency. And I was really proud, and I know I texted you and Lori last night because I got my FIBC pin from the company yesterday, and I was so excited about that. But when I reflected about why that was, how I got there, it just had to do with that one word. It had to do with consistency, and that was it. And when I'm getting texts from my clients and that are being really successful and they're losing weight, and I got a couple this week about coming off of some medications. And you know what? It all comes down to consistency. That's what everything is, whether it's coaching or clients or client support. It's just consistency. And if everybody just would remember that, they'll get to wherever they want to go, either with their health or with their coaching or anything else in life. It really doesn't make any difference. And I'll tell you one more thing that's making a big difference to me. On one of these calls, actually it was an unofficial call, I think. And Allison mentioned that Dawn had told her to get the book, Monday Morning Miracles, or I think that's what it's called. And I started, what is it?
Miracle Morning.
Thank you. Whatever. Yeah, Monday. Okay, I do need more coffee. Okay, so anyway, Miracle Morning. And I've started reading that, and I'll tell you what, if I didn't get anything from that call except for get that book, I am so happy I got that book. So just saying, it's a good book.
Just saying, it's a good book. And I love that, like, I love what you shared there on top of so many things. I think that sets up the whole Coffee and Consistency series for this season is community. When you come around other people, you grow, you become better. Consistency is the key. We have breakthroughs and our business moves forward. So let's kick into today. And let's see here. I have not had coffee, so fair warning. Let me share my screen. Dawn, you're here today. You my co-host. Are you loud and proud?
I'm here, Brad. Hey.
All right, let's get this kicked off. Let me pull up where is my
We
PowerPoint?
are having a lot of fun in this house. There's 12 of us.
My PowerPoint's gone.
Ready to rock.
Hold on a second. I can't find my PowerPoint.
Ooh.
That's not good.
Open recent. It's there. It's totally there.
Let's see here. All right, there we go. We got it. We're good to go. All right, guys, new graphic, new season, new Coffee and Consistency, same steps. So want to just say congratulations to everyone. Like, I was actually having some time to reflect this over this last little bit. There are so many cool things happening and so many more partners and so many people getting healthy because of the consistency we've shown through this. So this is our third Coffee and Consistency we've done. We do trainings on Saturday morning. We keep it simple. We keep it fun. We keep it easy. We help teach you guys a step of what helps you become great coaches and move your business forward. We learn a lot of life lessons through the process. And so I'm really excited because, it just seems like the momentum hasn't stopped, and the breakthroughs keep happening. So, but we like to come into things in season. We don't train randomly. We train in sequence so you guys can get the flow. You can learn faster, affect more lives, keep it simpler, and keep growing. And honestly, the people that show up are the ones that grow. So, congratulations for investing in yourself. Congratulations to all of you this last little bit. And we're going to kind of go over today. This is our prep call. It's going to be on the shorter side because it's all about teaching you how to set up for the month of November. November is slightly a little different, but also the same. We're going to teach you guys a little bit more in depth this time, a little bit more on supporting clients because that was a little bit of a request. We're going to go with more of the request this time, but it's all the same things, but also creating solid connections through this season. What's cool is I was, Lori and Garrett shared on the trilogy call last week. They made the decision to get healthy 5 years ago this time. And look how many lives they've changed. They chose to do health through this holidays. Who will be your partners? Who will change lives because we continue the ripple effect? But at any rate, the connections that you make during the season can lead to lifelong transformations. And also we can actually make long-term connections with our clients by not helping them just be diet focused, especially during the season. And you guys will see, I see Carlene nodding because you've coached this season. You know what I'm talking about. So it's all the same. And all the pros do the same thing over and over again, but that's a slight tweak that we're going to do this season in these 5 weeks. This calls all to set up those things. And why do we spend time talking about setup, on a call? Some people are like, well, why am I spending time with structure? Structure creates everything, you guys. A few different things on this. Donna, feel free to chime in, or anyone drop some knowledge in the chat if you want to, or just drop me a 1 in the chat if structure has made the difference in your business or saved you from going down maybe a repetitive road that you've done before. I can tell you that's the piece for me. And why we focus on setting up structure, because 1, that's what the pros do. There's no secret. Lee and April, I think you guys are on track to run the highest frontline volume by far this month. And I know you guys took time to set up your structure. April, you took the time to really break down that on the last Coffee and Consistency, what changed for you. And it was a lot of things and continuing to grow, but you set up a good structure. So why do we take the time to do a prep call and set up that? Because it makes all the difference. It makes more fun. It changes more lives. And what's cool? It makes more money in your bank account because you get paid when you change lives in this business. And it's also an equity business as well. This will land us. You guys all excited for the Phoenix event, the leadership summit that's happening? The last week or the week after we finish this, that will land us in there. And many of you guys will qualify by doing this step. So if you're not plugged in or planning on joining that yet, or if you're in process of working on it, it's going to be amazing. Just talking with Doug about a few things about what's going to be happening this weekend. And even talking with Wes, who's going to be his financial advisor. He's going to drop some knowledge bombs and just some really good insight on financial health, strong business, how to work with teams, how to be better. It's just going to be amazing. And that's where we're going to land. So just kind of cool. That's the setup. So that's enough about that. We want to welcome all of our new coaches in here. We've had a lot of new coaches reach senior coach and above this last little bit, so we want to congratulate you. This calls for all of us to continue focusing on the basics, to help and learn the basic structure that will help you grow a strong coaching business. Basically, how to make endless connections, how to bring value and authentically grow. So we believe in teaching people sustainable growth and working this into their lives. And again, through this, no comparative reality, so that we can grow and learn and become better at our pace and what works for us as we all grow. But if you're a new senior coach or in that realm or all the way to associate director, during this time period, your goal is to move to executive director, if you're wanting to learn and grow, because this calls for people that want to grow and change lives. For all of you new executive directors, not only congratulations, your goal is to continue to get your volume up there a little bit more, become a pro at this. It should take you less time as you grow your business over the next little bit. For all of you 5 or 8 to 13 points, the people up there and moving towards, the Big Thinkers Club over 10,000 frontline volume, your goal is to learn to do this solidly and teach your team by modeling this, because it's the same thing over and over again that makes a difference. And we're always learning and growing. So it's not about more time. It's about helping more people and honing our craft. So Dawn, anything you want to add to us? Because that's literally what we do over and over here. And I do want to congratulate all the people that have had so many new rank advancements. There's so many people joined the Big Thinkers Club. And a lot of people hit that $8,000 mark. Like, so many great things happening. So anything that I maybe missed, you want to add?
Yeah, Brad. No, I just want to really, really welcome everybody, whether you are a brand new coach, like we talked about, this call is really geared towards senior coach and above, but we've got so many new people coming into our coaching community that sometimes when you look at this, it's like, whoa, how do I get there? Gosh, I really want to. How can I be like that? Just remember, step by step, my friend. And those of us, those that we're congratulating and like April talking and sharing, and you'll hear some tips from Carlene, it's just practice over time. And so I just wanted to kind of add that little nugget in there. So wherever you're at, whether you're working to get to that 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,000 frontline volume mark, or you are just super excited to get kicked off and rock senior coach, and next competency step is executive director. It is time and consistency and persistence, and that's it.
100%. It's all blowing up in the chat saying the exact same thing. And if you are a new coach on this line, one, we want to say welcome, but really tune into all these things. These are all be part of what you do. But really lock arms with your coach and get a really solid start. Focus on those first 6 to 8 clients and really getting because you learn everything in your first 6 to 8 clients and get a really solid start. And many of you have already done that, so congratulations. The whole premise for this is that people think success looks like that left-hand side there. And what's kind of cool is, I'm just going to brag on myself because I have the microphone and I can do that. Dan Bell quoted me from stage yesterday at Sundance, and it's because of this. But honestly, it's not my deal. It's just what's reality is embrace the squiggly lines. People think success is easy, but if you stay consistent, learn it. The squiggly lines, you earn them. But if you also follow these steps and learn, all the pros do exactly the same thing. So all the trainers here that train, they run over 10,000 frontline volume above. That is the requisite for anyone that trains. It means they do it well. If you follow these things just like you are learning, the squiggly lines, Don, are a lot less than what we went through. Carlene's nodding too. You're like, yeah. We had a good talk last night, Carlene. So a lot of good stuff. And also just consistency over time. Susan, LaBelle, we were having a conversation. There were some people here at Sundance with us years ago that decided to be that person at the very bottom. And we know that, it's not worth it. But if you stay consistent, you will always break through and you will always help more people. And it's worth it. I'm smiling because I'm seeing people that are consistent smiling. It's not always easy, but it definitely is fun overall. And it's worth it through that process. So as a quick review, as everyone's continuing to get fundamentally good, I want to review this. We'll get back to it later. And more of just absorb this for wherever you're at, because knowing your next step is so key. Remember our building blocks. So I want you guys to remember a few things as we get into this month again, because remember, this is the prep call. So to get you all geared up to do all the things to keep it simple, to keep changing lives moving forward. You earn 1 point because these are building blocks of our business. So if you hear us talk about points, this is what it means. And when we say grow to 2 to 3 points a month is a great thing to focus on. It means every 1,200 in frontline volume is a point, which means about 4 people getting healthy. That's like the way we like to equate it. Or every single business, our senior coach line of business, which means you've actually made a difference in someone's life and paid it forward and got them a good start. Those are the 2 things that we really do in this business. And you can spend more time doing one or the other or both, but that's what we're teaching you here. And you follow those steps, it's just changing lives. So the top 2 are here that are one of the ones I want to focus on is your first goal if you're coming on as a coach is to hit senior coach. 7 to 8 clients in your first month, getting your caps about $700 to $800 a month in your first month. And if you are above senior coach, there's ranks in between and growing, and you can grow at your own pace. But your next real big goal is to hit executive director. Check down the ones here at the bottom. We'll come down to this. We cover this in our last Coffee and Consistency, but this gives you like the steps in between. Smiley faces, for every rank you hit, you get a new smiley face. This gives you the in-between ranks. And I want to just take a second to really congratulate so many of you guys that have taken that solid step. It doesn't always mean a new rank, but there are so many people here that have taken these next few steps, like after hitting executive director, getting your frontline volume up there, bringing on your first few people and helping them pay it forward really well. That bumps up your income. It bumps up your competencies. And that is a check mark that I want you guys to celebrate, even though it's not a rank or a smiley face in the back office. Many of you have reached a 10,000 frontline volume mark. That's the next thing to really shoot for, bringing up more team members, building equity, bringing your income up. That's the next step. So figure out where you are on this and just look at what your next step is. And the next one over here is growing to 10 points or more, FIBC, regional, national, global. We've had so many of these over the last little bit. So just want to congratulate you. So that, done. Okay, I'm like running out of like breath here. This gets us set for our platform today. And a couple things that we're going to cover about today. We never covered in Coffee and Consistency. So we're going to hit on the structure pieces that'll set you up for success. But I want to take a little bit of a second to hit on something because one, it's going to help all of you guys as you continue to grow. Two, it's the essence of what we're learning here at Sundance and what Dr. A has taught us forever. But three, understanding this not only will help you on the first thing that I talked about, but it's the fundamental piece that allows us in our coaching to help people move forward. So hopefully you guys all, if you did, printed out a structural tension chart and maybe even did it. But if not, do that this week as you're getting set up for this month. This month's not even close to over yet. But I just thought it was a really good time to learn this. So the structural tension chart, it's in the Simple Systems document. You can search for it. I'm going to give you the quick overview. And Don, feel free to chime in with anything, or anyone who actually knows structural tension here, feel free to drop some things in the chat about just some tips or things that have helped you. But essentially, structural tension is the process of figuring out your current reality, where you are tangibly, and where you want to go. There's no right or wrong answer on that. You can only answer that question. And that's the beauty of structural tension. It provides clarity. Some people this last season, you guys have grown so much that one, it just takes a little bit of learning to handle new capabilities. Like when I went new executive director for the first time, like Ashley and I were like, how do we do this? And then like months later, we were running like double the frontline volume, which seemed to be easier with practice. But another thing, if you ever feel overwhelmed, generally, if you don't have structure set up, if you do have structure set up, and that's good, generally it's because you're not clear on where you want to go next. And I want you guys to think about that for your clients. Have any of your clients ever been that way, where they're just letting everything get in the way? Everything's a problem. Think about what was missing in that. They probably were very unclear or clouded on what they wanted and their why. That's why we spend so much time finding out what people want in the beginning. That's what makes us different. That's why we don't coach a diet. You guys see that for all you new coaches, this is a tool. So not only that, and that's going to be kind of the essence of this, and just understanding that right there alone might change your coaching, or the reminder of that. And I've always been reminded of that myself. I would really encourage you guys, as you guys are learning and growing, take time right now. We're about to go into a season where connections are there. It's going to be holidays. You're going to see people you haven't seen. You're going to have like all different ways to make connections over the next little bit. Where do you guys want to be in January, February? What will your business look like? Carlene, I see you on my screen right now. You and I and Kelly and Tim talked this time last year. You never dreamed where you were at right now, but you did have a vision and you took the steps one at a time. It makes it easier, calmer, better. And you just identify the steps along the way that gets you there. So long story short, that's what I would encourage you guys to do as we do this. We've never done this with Coffee and Consistency, but it's so key. You've kind of probably done it with your map, because structural tension is built into the map. It's built into our program. It's built into the habits of health. It's built into everything. But I would actually take the time to do that for yourself this season. Get a little bit clearer on what you want, because many of you guys may have already surpassed what you even thought was possible. So Don, before I turn it over to you and go into the next thing, anything you want to add to that?
I'm just so excited, Brad, that we're actually going to be bringing this into Coffee and Consistency over the next 4 weeks from, today moving forward, and talking about it, because it fits so perfect. It's so key. If you don't know where you want to go, then any road will take you there. It's just like going on a trip. You got to pick your destination first, then you pack for it, pick who's coming with you, what excursions you're taking, how much fun you're going to have, but it's step by step. So I'm just really excited that we're going to be talking about this because it's perfect also as we're heading into this season and kicking off a new year.
Perfect. I agree with you completely. I'm so excited. And actually, to that point, I wanted to highlight a few people here because I feel like people's stories, we learn so much from people in here. There's two people I mean, I could call them a bunch of people, you guys, because like literally you guys are so awesome. And I see you guys blowing up the chat on this. But I'd like to bring on Mike for a second. You know, Mike and Nicole are going to be sharing. I wanted to bring them on because I wanted you to see an example of what this was. And they actually did it before they even realized they were doing it, but this is a tool that they used. You know, Mike, go ahead and come off mute. But just share a little bit about this, about your health journey and how your story has changed because your clarity on what you wanted made a ton of difference. So drop some knowledge on us this morning, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. You're absolutely right. What you just said is that I didn't even know I was doing it. I just did it. And my current reality was that I was traveling all over the place for the company that I worked for, and I had gotten something was happening with my feet, and I didn't know what. I hadn't been diagnosed. And when I got home on my last journey, I couldn't walk through the airport. I can't even actually go there. It's too emotional. I could not walk through the airport to get when I got home. And I had been on every diet you could imagine and lost lots of weight, but it always came back. And I kept hearing about optimal health from my friend Janet, and I realized that something had to change. And I was diagnosed finally, and my feet continued to get worse. And my goal was, if this condition couldn't be cleared up, I at least wanted to live to be 85. I wanted not to be in a wheelchair at 70, and I knew I had to get the weight off. And so I set a goal to lose 120 pounds. And Janet and I had worked together before on other things. The turning point for me was I made the decision. And once I made the decision and knew where I was headed, 2 days in, I had a horrible situation with I was 2 days in. And the first 2 days of the plan, I had a horrible situation come up. And I called Janet. I'll never forget. I said, Janet, this is when I would have eaten. And I was like, but I have my peanut butter bar and I have my bottle of water and I'm going to do this and be happy. And in that moment, I realized this whole journey for me could be fun and easy. And that's the way I've lived my life. I decided to live this journey. It was fun and easy. And then 6 weeks in, the other real turning point for me, which crystallized the goal, was she called me and said, what is it that's driving you? Why are you having so much success in the plan? And I said, well, what I just said, I don't want to be in a wheelchair at 70 and I want to do the best I can. And it was in that moment that I realized my clear goal was not to have a stroke, not to have a heart attack, and not to die of sleep apnea. Because even though my situation was dire and I could barely walk, I wasn't in pain, and I really didn't want to be in pain. And I continued to do my job, and I just took the steps. The steps for me were as simple as do the plan every day and never deviate. A friend of mine told me, you're militant about this. And I'm like, well, if militant gets me healthy, I really don't mind. It's all good. And so in not too long a time, I lost 145 pounds and got my life back. And so today, here I am. And Janet asked me about coaching, and I was like, I was the controller of the company at the time. And I said, hey, I can't coach right now, but give me 6 weeks and I'll be out past a bunch of things that are happening, and then I'll do it. And the very next day I had 3 clients. I was like, okay, so I'm coaching. And now I'm bringing what I just told you, this very thing, structural tension, to what I do. And I got to say, the biggest thing for me has been keeping me on target with my team, with Janet and Shireen and Lori and you, Brad, keeping my focus, keeping me pointed that direction.
Mike, you are amazing, my friend. I love that. And the essence of everything there is perfect. You're a busy man. What's your position again at the company you're at?
The vice president of administration. So I have accounting and IT and HR. HR, my favorite thing.
So no excuses on anything. And what I also love about that, you approach your business like that. You've actually grown a very strong regional director business. You've changed a lot of lives, and you take it one step at a time. So your health, everything, I think everyone kind of gets the point of clarity on where you are and where you want to go. You did amazing, my friend. Thanks for the example. Thanks for being a part of our community, man.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. I love it. We'll do one more example of this. Gosh, Mike, you're so awesome. I can't get over how cool that is. And that's what we do every single day. I joke with everyone. We get paid to do this. This is so cool. Sorry, I just nerd out on this. But I wanted to bring on Nicole real quick because Nicole's another shining example of this. And also, I just got to give her props on every area of her life. She works with Frank and Denise on this stuff, and it's just been so cool to see her create. I'm not going to take away anything from her story. So Nicole, and we want to make sure we end on time here. So let you share some examples because I think you are crystal clear on your vision and what you want to create.
Thanks for having me sharing. It's definitely feel very honored and humbled to do so. Brad does remind me that late part of 2016, like I didn't really have a clear vision. I was barely, I think, even running a senior coach business, if that. And I would have to say, like, my takeaways would be, there's two very important whys. You have to know your why for your health journey, which is going to keep you moving forward. And you have to know your why for your business. And I didn't realize this, and I wasn't really yet comfortable with dreaming about it. But then when I leaned into my support team and I really allowed them to speak into my life and start helping share what a vision in a business could look like, and that it was okay to dream about the tangibles of what that business could bring. And I do work full time. I work very busy. I'm the small portion of the population that loves what they do, but I'm definitely looking forward to being able to just shift my work-life balance a bit, build my business up so I can maybe move more part-time in that full-time realm, and allow my health coaching business to definitely more than supplement what I'm making in my full-time job, dreaming about buying a home, being able to then fill that home and have foster children. That's a huge goal of mine. And so when I really started looking at what this business could bring, and that it's real and that it's sustainable, and that you can leave a legacy with it, that was where the vision became clear. And I just took all the action steps and leaned into my support team. And when you do it consistently on a daily basis, it produces the results. And you can't compare your business journey to anybody else's. I know that you will definitely begin to doubt, and it can bring a lot of negativity if you start thinking, well, so-and-so grew faster than I did. Focus on your own journey, your own health journey, your own business journey. Let your team speak into it and just follow the action steps. And it's incredible what really comes from all this. I mean, you have a family that's supporting your business, and they really have your best interest at heart. And I'm loving every bit of this journey.
Nicole, I love it. I'm going to brag on you real quick because one, you're just easy to brag on. You're a great example of this. And like you said, yeah, you barely senior coach business, before. Nicole, you've lost over 50 pounds?
About 63 pounds to be exact.
All right. And there's been some body composition change in there because you've taken your
Yes.
health. So Nicole became very clear on her health. She became very clear. She's also got married this last year, and, basically you inherited it, becoming a mom through that process as well. And I've just been so impressed. Nicole, you're about ready to hit the 10,000 Frontline Volume Club, which was a goal that you and Denise never thought was going to be possible. So absolutely, you've kept it fun. Back to quote Mike, you kept it fun and easy, and you've taken a step. I love what you said about not comparing. You've worked this in. You've got your structure set. You've kept it very simple, and you're miles ahead of what we talked about doing at the start of this year. And so it just shows you, I just want to highlight those examples because anyone can do this, and you've changed a lot of lives, and you've grown through this. I've watched you and your example. And so, yeah, you are leaving a legacy. So congrats. Anyone can do this, and lots of you have, but I wanted to give you that example of this. It all comes back to the basics and structural attention. Great job, Nicole. Thanks for sharing today.
Thank you.
So I think we got the point across on this. Nicole, Nicole, Mike hit on it so well. Dawn, this is so perfect on this. And this is really the setup for this next little bit of what we do and how we help people. So a couple different things on this as we kind of finish up is just remembering some little nuance of this is you can't get what you want by focusing on what you don't want. So I want you guys to learn these little small basics of this. This is something Dr. Ray taught us because most people are like, oh, I don't want to be overweight. But if you focus on what you don't want, what's the opposite of that? If you aren't overweight, eventually you don't have anything to focus on because you just have what you didn't want. Does that make sense for you guys? So focus on tangible things that move you forward constantly. I want to be healthy. I want this. I want to be able to save for a house. I want to leave a legacy. These are the things you can help your clients with and help yourself with. So let's move into setting up our structure, Don, because we're going to keep this call kind of short and just get everyone really back to the basics on all of this. And you're going to cover some of these things that are going to get us grounded. It's the same thing every time. And I think you're going to have Lynette also share for us. So Dawn, take it away on setting up structure and maybe give Lynette the floor.
Hi. Yes, I would love to. So, you guys, success leaves clues, and I love what Mike and Nicole and, Carlene is soon to share, but I really do want to turn it over for just a second to Lynette, because it's easy to see when someone is doing all of these things. And what we're talking about are just the basics. We're talking about what you do every day, how you show up consistently, and we're showing you what the people who are growing are doing. It's not magic. It's just the basics consistently over time. So I want to brag on Lynette a little bit, because, not only has she grown consistently over this season, and actually I don't want to steal anything from your story, Lynette, but grown consistently through doing these things, through tuning in to the last two coffee and consistencies, and also going into an even busier time of her life. So Lynette, I just want to bring you on because you, have been a coach for less than a year, or well into the 10,000 club mark. I mean, you are really sharing, taking care of a lot of clients, bringing on coaches, and having a ton of fun in the process. So share a little bit, Lynette, just about, what are some of those key things that you're seeing make the difference for you?
Okay. Hey, everyone. Hey, I just wanted to share a little bit today. Thanks for letting me share. But I think this must be the full-time workers call, because Mike and Nicole and I, all kind of coming from a perspective of having full-time jobs. So like Dawn said, I'm a teacher. I'm a second grade teacher. And so I started my school year up again. And I just kind of want to focus on three things: being present, being about people, and being purposeful. And first of all, when you have a full-time job, you have to be present in what you're doing. You can use that full-time job to meet people. You're around people all day long. I'm around parents, I'm around other teachers, I'm around lots of community people. So using that to your advantage and just being present and finding ways that you can kind of weave those two things together, I think has been key for me, is working smarter, not harder. Just being able to find ways that I can weave my health coaching business into my teaching job. And I never want to be accused of not putting my all into my teaching or all into my kids. And so I always, I'm always really mindful of that, is, when I'm teaching, when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. But I also know that there's ways that you can live your life out loud at your job, and being able to do that. So just one example of that is our school always is all about wellness. And I thought, well, I can jump on board with that whole wellness challenge that our school offers and extend that to my clients. And so I did that. They had an exercise challenge this month at school, and I just piggybacked off of that and I just started a Facebook group, and I put it out to my clients, and I said, my school's doing a wellness challenge. Anybody want to jump on board with me? Because I really want to do this challenge. Because at the end of the year, they have some grand prize. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to just pull my clients in and kind of piggyback off of that. So the other thing is just being about people, just caring about people, just continuing to bring value to people's life that we've heard so much on these calls. So I just think it's really important that what you're posting brings value to people on Facebook. Just, posting things that are going to help people and bring value to them. I have just recently picked up a new client out of Texas who came through a referral. I don't know her at all. She had everything taken away from her in Hurricane Harvey. They lost their cars. They lost the entire contents of their house. She doesn't even have a crock pot. She's living in a hotel. And she started this program last week. So she is just a huge inspiration, I think. And I asked her, I said, are you sure you want to start this at this time in your life? I mean, you've got so much going on. They're trying to rebuild their life. And she said, you know what? This is one thing I can control right now. And so I thought, wow, that's pretty amazing. So I'm getting to walk alongside this complete stranger who was affected by this hurricane. And so that's been really, really neat. Just that value that you can have for people. And the other thing is just being purposeful, just being intentional with what you're doing. You just never know who is seeing your things on Facebook. I have a new client that's getting ready to sign up tomorrow or the next day, who I had no idea, never has commented on anything that I've ever posted. I think he saw it through my husband's, because we're not even friends on Facebook. So you just never know who is following you. The other thing is just don't give up on people. I had a gal that ran through the program. I did a couple client calls, and then she totally went silent on me. And I thought, oh no, she did terrible in the program. She ended up canceling her B-Slim. I never heard from her, but I continued to kind of call and leave messages, and just that really good client care. I was just really trying to be intentional about providing that good client care with her. And last week I got a call from her mom and her dad and her other sister. And all three of them are jumping on program because of how well she had done. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know. I thought she hated it. I thought she did terrible. And she had been very successful. And so now the rest of her family was continuing on. So just wanted to say that, just really focusing on good quality care. The other thing I did was I kind of set up just a client care day, just picking one day. That was really helpful for me with balancing my teaching schedule and building that into that, and just taking one day, take care of my clients and provide good quality care. So thanks.
That's so awesome, Lynette. Okay, so many like nuggets. I wrote down some notes, but just the one thing I wanted to kind of highlight that you said was, aside from being present and purposeful and all about the people, don't give up. You never know who's watching. And have an abundant mindset. And then you said the one thing that structurally helped you was really, what I'm hearing you say is getting really intentional with your schedule and your time and being present there, and consolidating all of your client care, your client care day. I love how you say that, because it's all about caring about people, to one day, because you're busy and you're working full time and you have that integrity where you are fully present in everything you're doing. But I would bet you're getting tons more done now than before, even though you're back to work full. Amen. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Lynette. It's clear success definitely leaves clues. One of the things I love about this is we move into this next slide here, where you see all of the beautiful colors. It is just a representation of what we do now builds over time. And like Lynette, you just shared, being consistent, being persistent, staying in people's lives. Look at this. Look, August, September, October, the people that you're helping now, they don't live in a vacuum. They're going to be seeing their friends and family in October over the holidays. They're going to be sharing. Look, Lynette just shared how one client just referred to 3 or 4 family members. That's the power of what we do. So always look at the seeds you're planting and the harvest that is coming by just being consistent, persistent, staying in people's lives, being all about the people and adding value, because what we do in this season is building the foundation for December and January, February and March. So you guys, this is an incredible time to be listening, reaching out, helping all the people that are ready now, because there's a lot of people watching them come the next few months. Brad, anything you want to add to this slide? I just love the power of this visual of, you may not see it now, right? Like an iceberg, you just see the tip, but just wait at what's coming with your consistency and just honing in on the basics that we're going to go over the next few weeks.
I just love the reminder. I'm actually thinking a lot of people are in the middle of seeing it. And, if I had to describe one thing, you guys, is a true health coach. They're going to live in the area of being abundantly grateful, of realizing how far they've come, of being just as equally hungry to go to that next level. That's where you want to live as a health coach. And so many of you guys are up here seeing this, that you're already seeing the payoff of this. So just keep taking the steps. Nicole didn't see being a big thinker and being a regional director at the start of this year. She just saw her next step. So yes, just keep planting the seeds. You guys are already in this process. Keep it up. And right now, what we're going to do right now, Don, is we're going to go through the things. Just one, if you've already got the system down, just remember these are the basics and get it even more dialed in. If you're getting ready to grow and you're joining us as a new coach, we're going to show you how to take on the entire month with everything you need to keep it simple. I always say, give us 8 to 12 hours a week. We'll show you how to build an executive director business. And that's actually overkill. You might need that full 12 hours if you've built to the 10,000 mark, like some of you have over the last few months. But you know what? That means you're making like over $100 an hour and you're changing lives. It's pretty awesome. So anyways, we'll get you guys this set up so we can go to this basics. So Don, let's go over those basics that we want to set up this month, because we're really going to focus on building connections over this period and growing ourselves and keeping it simple and fun and easy. And so let's go over those things that you need to keep it simple.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, let's get into the nitty gritty, just the simple things. Really, schedule. That's where it all starts. A lot of you who had tuned into the last couple of Coffee and Consistencies have heard Allison talk about, but we come back to this. It's just, this is kind of an example schedule, but whatever your schedule looks like, have it written down in your phone, dial it in somehow so that it fits around your life. And really, we can work this business in 15 to 30 minute intentional blocks of time each day. You fit them in around what's most important to you. You fit them in before work, on lunch breaks. You've heard a lot of people talking about working full-time jobs. I built this business while working full-time on lunch breaks, but really there's just a couple things that are rocks in your schedule, like the Monday night leadership call, the Wednesday habits of health call. But bottom line, have a schedule. Reach out to your support team if you're not sure what your schedule might look like. You can kind of like dial it in together, but have a schedule and show up for yourself. Be consistent for that schedule. So block in the times that are important to you to work your Optavia business, as well as the times that you're going to be with your family and doing other intentional things. Our kind of rule in our household, if it's not in a schedule, it doesn't exist. And that's just a practice over time of doing that. So have a schedule and stay consistent to that schedule. Have things like a consistent client celebration day blocked in there and a consistent time for follow-up blocked in there. So this is a great slide, Brad, because it reminds us how simple it can be and how little time it actually takes.
Yeah, your schedule might look different. So the goal would be is if you don't have this in place, have this in place by the time we start the month and when you connect with your support team. Plan in a few different times where you can get in 15, 30 minutes of solid connection time. I'm going to show you what to do with that next. Have kind of a schedule. This is my schedule, actually. Like I do most of my stuff and I know when I'm very available for share calls, all these things. I do my check-ins on Tuesdays. Backup day is Wednesday. And my follow-up on Friday. And I make time for my trainings on Saturday morning. We keep it really simple and it makes it really easy. So if you haven't made your schedule yet, because we really believe in resting well. And honestly, the key to, I would say, that Ashley's success, and I'm so glad that my wife helps me. She basically said, if you don't get a schedule together, I'm not going to work with you. And that's honestly when our business boomed and we helped more people get healthy, was when we actually spent less time working. So that's what I would encourage you guys. Plus, it's just like this. Did you guys know that, they've done like studies on this, it's not how much money you make that makes you rich. It's actually the relationship to how much money you make to how much money you think you need that makes you wealthy. And it's the same thing with your schedule. If you've got the time in there, it actually doesn't feel like it can actually feel like less if you got in there. But if you don't have it, it makes it feel like you're always not getting to something. So get this in place. It's what a world changer has. The next thing we have is we have this document to keep it really simple. So Don, just like the things that really help us be present and get our word out there and have people thinking of us. So this will be the document we use during this season.
Yep, just the 3, 3, and 3 tracker. And it's kind of like, what do you do with the 15 to 30 minute time blocks that you've set out? You pull this out, you grab your map out, you grab your schedule, and you can get right to work. Right away. Do you have a post up that adds value? Have you added your friends? How many conversations have you started that day? I encourage you guys all, print this out, have it ready, bring it to November, and get ready to mark it up, draw on it, like add things. I mean, this honestly can look like your map at the end of the month, like use it well. But it's just, this is a tracker for the connections we're making. It is not separate from our hundreds list. It is not separate from our map. It is a tool we use in conjunction with those things.
Yep. And everything helps you learn, by the way. Everything's a practice. We're learning while we're growing here. You'll learn what things speak to people. Like that's also why we have this document. You might realize like, wow, when I post like this, when I share my story like this, when I highlight this, when I live like this, when I make connections like this, I get better results and people get more inspired. So that's the other reason for doing it, not to mention the consistency. Anyways, just good document there, really good layout on that, Don. And then the next thing is we have our hundreds list. That's what everyone has that's doing this and got their stuff set up. So hit on this real quick.
Yep. So just make sure you've got one of these printed out. Probably have one from last month. You don't need to recreate one each month, but add to this. This is where you put down everyone who's on your heart, everyone who reaches out. This is the document you use. When you put a post up on Facebook and we talk about follow the likes, follow the comments, and you're like, okay, what does that mean? This is where those people's names go. This is where you double check. Okay, we're friends on Facebook. I've sent them I've commented, I've liked something on their page. I've private messaged them. I've started a conversation. This is a tool to help you move through the process of creating the connection with the people and also following up. So just make sure that you have this and that you're using it. And this is what I pull out when I do my 3, 3, and 3. So I'm pulling who am I private messaging? They're coming off this list. Who am I calling and reaching out to? Who am I inviting to the health and hope calls? Who am I inviting to our focus groups and our seasons? This is where I'm inviting those people and I'm tracking it.
Yeah. Who are you being intentional with? Who are you doing something extra with? The people that what you focus on is what grows. So you focus on these people. So again, this is what the pros do. And yeah, I love it. You don't recreate it every single month. It's ongoing. So you see little cross off marks on it.
Lynette says it's all about the people. That's where the people are. They're on that list.
Yep. If they're in their brain, you'll forget about it. Don't even talk about putting stuff up here. It gets lost really quickly. The last thing is the map, because this is what lays it out. Every world changer has a map. And actually, Nicole, the person of the, creating the life that she wants, this is her map. I just want to give her props on this. So Dawn, you want to break down just like some quick things that people can because a lot of people are learning to use their map and the value of it and why. So like just some things that people can utilize on why and setting up their month when they come to November ready to go.
Well, I love this, Brad, and I love that we actually have a real example here because look at this. It's fully filled out. Look at the bottom. All of those little lines are filled out. If this is something that you're not familiar with, don't hesitate to ask. Grab time with your mentorship. Grab time with your health coach. They'll walk you through it. There happens to be a really fabulous video made by Brad that's very helpful, but basically fill it out fully. At the bottom is where you put where you currently are, because again, this is structural tension. That picture that Brad showed earlier, the slideshow, at the bottom is where you currently are. At the top is where you want to go. You get to define what that is. And in the middle is where you put the people that you are currently helping. You put the people who are right on deck. That they're just about to get started, maybe with a follow-up, an additional phone call or something like that. You're basically the top 10 client candidate list right there. Those are the people that another couple touches, they're probably going to get started on their journey. And then it's also a wonderful place where you put the people that are on your coach candidate list, that they're in front of you. And then you're tracking your getting started coaches. Brad, one of the things here that this is Nicole's map, is that right? Yeah. So one of the things that we talked about is like Nicole is tracking her new senior coaches, right? So in that box where you can see Brad's cursor, that's where you have space to track your new coaches, and you're tracking them up to senior coach. Once someone is beyond senior coach, you actually clients moving forward. But this is really the tool, because like Brad said, you learn everything you really need to know for basic client support and coaching well in your first 6 to 7 clients. So we're really keeping track of that. But the map is something to use. It's a tool. It's not a get it done, mark the checkbox that you sent it over to your mentor. This is for you guys. This is where you put everything that's important to you in your whole month, and you get to track it and look at it daily, and you get to see tangibly where you're at, the people that you're coaching and taking care of on a weekly basis, and then where your brand new coaches are and where they're going. Brad, anything you want to add to this?
Nope. Basically, this is what the best of the best do. And I've learned really early on in life, just do what they do. Work with your support team. And this is Nicole's beginning of the beginning of the month map. And this is where it's at now. I love, she's highlighted off the people that have ordered. She's tracking, she's understanding where people are at. She fills out the entire thing so she understands her business. You see check off marks where she's gotten people healthy, and she has everything filled out here. Structural tension. The pros do it like this. So work with your support team. A messy map is a good map. That's what you want. So bring this to next month and print out a lot of them, because we use them every single month. And that's basically it right now. That's the structure of doing this all. We were planning on finishing up at 45 after, so we want to wrap up here. But this is everything that we need. Carlene was just going to give us, that's all you need to bring to next month to do the world-changing activities and stay consistent. Carlene was going to drop us a couple nuggets on just some tips. This girl's always on fire for coming up ways on finishing the month strong. So, Carlene, can you drop like a minute worth of knowledge bombs on us if we're looking to create more things happening before in these last few days of the month?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And good morning. I think the biggest one, of course, I had to say is do not give up. Like straight up, I think when we see that the end of the month's coming, we're like, I'll start next month. Do not throw in the towel. It's when you need to stay focused and positive. Reach out, raise your hand to your mentor. Sometimes like when we're looking to hit a goal, we can't, can you guys hear me? My internet was a little unstable there. But definitely reach out to your mentors and say, look, I need help, because sometimes we get so doing busy work. We're not doing smart, efficient things that's going to take us to that goal. So it's so important. Raise your hand in your support message and say, hey guys, I am determined. I'm not giving up. I need help. Like, what can I do? Let's do this. Remember, you're not alone. That's what we're here for. We want to help you guys rock this out. We are so excited to help you. We're like ready to serve you. So please use your support message. And then sometimes, another great thing is, who is top on your list and what is holding them back? Because that's what your support team is here for. We want to help you look at maybe some things that can move them forward. We're great to help you guys with this stuff. So send us a screenshot, show us what's going on, and let us, jump in to help you guys with that. And bump up, instead of doing the 3, 3, and 3 this late in the game, bump it up to 10, 10, and 10. Go all out. Drive. Keep pushing. Do not stop the fight. Just keep going, because, it's no need to take the first of the month and just stop going. So be intentional and go live, change your Facebook page, your banner, get out and meet people. This is a relationable business. It's all about meeting people. So you still got time to go out there and meet people. Be bold and show them what we have. Do not hold this back. People need this, guys. Show them what we have. This is like nothing else. Being here in Sundance, we have something so amazing. We are there's so many people that need this. So go out there, be intentional, and show them what's possible.
Carlene, I love it. So many good tips, good reminder. So just do the basics. And this is the tip that I would give you, and the idea of structural attention. Look where you're at and figure out where your next step is, and focus on the people and connections and where they're at. Focus on the people. That's what makes the difference, and take the action. So great stuff. Good tips. This is pretty much where we're at. And actually, I forgot to change the slide. It's not the finale. This is the start. So this is week 1. These are the basics, what everyone does, you guys. And the more you do this, the more it just becomes what you do every single time. Every single person that's successful in here and helping people does the same thing. And I love what Nicole said about not comparing. It's your journey. Focus on what you want. So here's what to take away from this, because we're training you guys on what we do that keeps it easy and what allows us to support people. So fill out your map and set up your 100s list if you don't have it. Send them to your support team and grab a time. If you are in the middle of growing, you work with your support team. That's how they can help you, and that's how they know that you want to work on those things. And again, disclaimer on how to use it, don't fill it out as a to-do list. If you're doing it that way, literally, you don't need another job. But this is here to help you focus on the people and keep it simple, and that's the way the pros do it. Grab your fresh 3 and 3 calendar, get that set up, and get that with your systems and your systems in place. Print out your health assessments so you have them ready to go. Dawn did a great training on that leadership call a few weeks on that. We'll be going over that during this Coffee and Consistency, how to use that effective. Suzanne, you went executive director last month. That was your big takeaway, was learning how to utilize that tool and showing up more for the people when you were exploring health with them. Schedule the rocks in your schedule. That is like one of your to-do lists if you don't have that set up, or maybe for many of you need to reaffirm them for yourself. It's just like our health. If we're not coming back to it and constantly focusing on it, it will start to go awry. So, all those on purpose things. And then the last, guys, just lead with your health. That's the biggest thing. That's one of the best reasons why we become coaches. It inspires us to keep going on that, and focus on your structural tension and what you want to create. That's it for this week. Finish up the month strong. Have fun. You guys are doing incredible. During this season, we're going to go step by step on what creates connections, how to coach authentically, how to start clients well, and how to integrate. We'll even get into a little bit of how to bring coaches on well and help them get a start. So guys, do the work, stay consistent. You guys, I'm preaching to the choir. You guys are all doing it. You have a great day, and we're going to go learn from Dr. Ray. Just to let you know that we are in the best hands in the world, all the way up to the top, like Dr. Ray, the visionary. He's amazing. I can't wait for all of you guys to be here at Sundance with us eventually. Keep taking the steps and stay consistent, my friends. Love you guys. Thanks for spending Saturday morning together with us. Talk to you guys later. Great job today. Yeah, great job, Mike and Nicole, Lynette. Amazing stuff. Love the chat too. Have a great week, everybody. Finish up the month strong. We'll see you guys next week. We'll jump into November and building us up and going to the next step. Talk to you guys later.